Hi, everyone. My name is Ari Coco. Welcome to PIPORNOT Superorganismic Upcycling and Mending virtual program. Today, I invited a scientist. Hi. Taylor is currently a PhD student in the Laboratory of Social Evolution and Behavior at Rockefeller University in New York City.
Ants are social organisms and they live together. They bring food into the nest, they produce waste. All these things lend themselves to pathogen threat, so the risk of disease, because an ant nest is in some ways like a really good place for pathogens to grow because it's kind of underground, everyone's crowded together, and it has a lot of like food coming in. So pathogens can come in and they can spread from individual to individual. And so ants have evolved systems for preventing pathogen spread. From what I've read, the main system where people have studied the waste systems in ants is in the leafcutter ants. These are a group of ant species that have a common lifestyle where they collect foliage, leaves from trees and from grass, and they bring it into their nest, their underground nests, and there they feed it to a special species of fungus that will digest the leaves and produce edible material for the ants. So they're fungus farmers. It's a very specialized kind of lifestyle. It's kind of incredible that there's this farming system that's so much older than what humans do. But one of the things is that there is a lot of waste production because not all of the plant matter that's brought in can be digested by the fungus. And also old fungus nests that are like no longer productive, they also represent waste. So they have both external and internal waste dump. What's been found is that some of the species will they'll have all these different nest chambers. Some of them are going to grow fungus. Some of them are going to be where the young are developing. One of them is where the queen lives, but there will also be waste chambers, which are usually deeper inside the colony. And that's where the ants will remove material, make an empty hole, and then they'll just fill it up with garbage. It is a dangerous source of possible disease, right? Because there are parasitic fungus, like a different species from the ones they eat, but there's a different species called Escovopsis fungus that will grow in the waste pile, and it can spread to the ants and kill them. So ants are pretty, this is a real risk that exists. So they do have adaptations to prevent the spread of those pathogens in the nest. So in my reading, I found one example is that there is a separation in which ants deal with the garbage and which ants deal with other nest tasks. It seems like the waste dumps can also maybe be good places for some plants to grow. So a group did some experiments where they took material from one of these ant waste dumps and they grew plants in them. And they found that the plants that were grown in the waste dump material actually they grew larger, they had more flowers, and their flowering season was longer. So it seems like for some organisms in the environment, the waste dumps might actually be like kind of beneficial. So it's just interesting to see, our waste materials are contributing to the environment in some way.